You know, my mind goes back here, but we were in a church. I don't know how to describe it. The pastor liked us and the people didn't. Can you imagine that? You know, pastor liked us. The people didn't, and they didn't like anything about us. First of all, we brought drums into the church. That was sacrilegious. Our hair was long, our jeans were patched, and they just didn't like us. You know, every song we sang just went over like a dead balloon, and a lead balloon. I guess a dead balloon too. Anyway, I told the singers, I said, just sit down, I'm going to try to preach because this is going nowhere fast. And still, you know, nothing, just terrible stares. And I began to open the Bible up, and out of nowhere, out of the back door was open, a bat flew into the sanctuary. Now, I'm trying to preach, and they're all screaming and putting their hands over their head and whipping their jackets around, and, you know, it's just awful. And I'm just thinking, oh, my God, how get me out of here, Lord? You know, why did we ever come to this town? And finally, the bat sat down and folded its wings and listened. And but it was just, we had one creature in the place listening now. And so we finished the service. It was just awful. No response, no nothing. And I remember praying, you know, God, where's the next place we're going? You know, we'll just write this off as a loss. And for 12 years, you know, I thought if it can't get any worse than the night the bat flew into the Indiana church. And, you know, sometimes we think things are worse than they are. I remember coming back in this area about 12 years later. I had moved to New England by then. And I had the song leader of a church. And this church liked me. They did like me, you know. And the song leader really liked me. And he came up to me. He said, Lawrence, do you remember being in a church about 12 years ago where a bat flew into the sanctuary? I said, you know, I've spent the last 12 years trying to forget that episode, and thank you very much for bringing it back up. I said, that was the worst night of my whole career. And he said, well, you remember nobody responded when you gave the altar call for people to accept Christ? I said, yes, I remember. Nobody did anything, you know. He said, and I said, it was just a waste that night. He said, well, I got to tell you something that may change your whole perspective. I was a teenager in that service, and I went home that night, and I thought about everything you said, and I knelt down beside my bed that night, and I gave my life to Jesus, and I've been walking with the Lord for 12 years, and thank you for coming. And you know, this is kind of what this song is about. Sometimes we just have to kind of plant the seed and love people and let them know about Jesus, and we leave the results with the Lord, and maybe years later we find out what really happened. This is an oldie. It's called There Goes a Real Christian Man. I was wandering around the country trying to find myself again. Stranded in Nebraska, needing some money, needing a friend. I was feeling sad and lonely as I stood beside the road. When a bald-headed man in a pickup truck, he picked me up and he took me home. There goes the real Christian man. There goes the real Christian man. I spotted a little New Testament laying on the dash by the radio. And I hadn't bathed in 5 or 6 days. I was hungry, tired, and cold. And I thought this man was kind of different. Picked a tramp right off the street. Then he said, my name is Billy. Let me fix you something to eat when we get home. There goes the real Christian man. There goes the real Christian man. Well, he told me Jesus loved me, how the Lord had changed his life. And we walked into the kitchen, he introduced me to his wife. He said, as long as you're in these parts, you'll always have a babe. Oh, I knew I'd been a Christian by the things he did and said. There goes the real Christian man. There goes got back on the road. And I never got saved till 2 years later in a park in Buffalo. Well, I've seen a lot of phonies, a lot of hypocrites telling lies.